What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning on the top of the map in the red color. The Greek main, playing as Zeus in this game, his name is Sirtok. Sirtok the Fourth. So there's been 4 different iterations of Sirtok. He's gone in to the mechanics. He's had some wheels alignments for his car, and he's worked himself out, and now he's coming back, and he's got some new ideas to take those corners a little bit easier and get himself from destination A to destination B much easier. I don't know why I'm saying this, but that's what I said. It's Sirtok the Fourth, and his opponent today in the blue color, playing as Loki here for your pleasure. His name is Ulysses. Ulysses the Great, Ulysses the Wise, Ulysses the Immaculate, some might even say. And yes, we have the map Frozen Wastes for you here in this matchup. I'm excited to see what's going to happen here. This is a really, really fun matchup. I love Loki versus Zeus. I think that at the top level, where the Zeus player plays perfectly and the Loki player plays perfectly, it's absolute chaos. And that's what I love. And not only that, we've got the map Frozen Wastes. And what's special about this map is, and I say this every time, but maybe people aren't aware, but what's special about this map is that these gold mines, they all spawn around the edge of the map. So it can be really, really hard to secure a second gold mine on Frozen Wastes, and part of the reason it's hard is this frozen terrain here is unbuildable or not buildable on. So your opponent at any point, like let's say you wall all of this off all the way over here, the way that your opponent can still just go out this way and take the long way around and then hit here. So the most defense on this gold mine you can have is a wall around here, for example, and then you also have to wall it on the front as well. So it's a very, very tough time for both players to secure those gold mines. Now, beyond all of this, you're going to have another tough time in the in the fact that the Zeus player wants to go for Athena here and go for hoplites. And hoplites are a little bit slow, and they can't really defend you. But what they can do is they can attack. And they can attack, and they can attack, and they can attack. And what Loki wants to do is build these really, really fast Herser to raid. So what ends up happening is the Loki player's base gets absolutely totaled, and the Zeus player's economy gets absolutely massacred. And it ends up being just this wild ride of who can kill their opponents faster than they can get killed themselves. So we'll see how things are going to go here in this one. We see the temple coming up for Sirtok, already putting some nice building placement here. Always love to see this kind of build placement. If you can make sure that your base gets completely surrounded by animals, and do all the good stuff, and we'll see how things are going to go as the Jason popping out over here for Sirtok. This is something that Zeus players like to do, but I think that they shouldn't do this, because the problem that's going to amount here for Sirtok is he just does not have the resources to advance here at all. And if he didn't build this Jason, he would have been up. He would have been fine. So things very, very strange here. Not only that, Sirtok doesn't have husbandry here. So these herdables not going to be the best. He's saving like 14 resources or so by not building his granary onto these berry bushes. And we do see where's the Jason got. The Jason picks up Harmonious Necklace. So he's going to get a 10% extra gold gather rate for this. And this is really, really weird here from Sirtok. I don't like it at all. There's another relic over here. The Shingles of Steel. Another really good relic. You want to pick this one up if you can. But yeah, I don't know about this one at all here. Ulysses, on the other hand, he's also advancing really late, and I don't like this. You shouldn't do this. This is not allowed in a tournament, and to do this in a rated game, not really. Whatever, it's fine, but the tournament rules are you can put 4 wall segments around your towers. If you put more than 4, your opponent can pause the game and tell you to delete these, is the general rule. And yeah. So We'll just ignore it for now. Maybe Sirtok will ask it to be deleted and it might get deleted, but we'll just ignore it for now. As the Skrelling coming in over here, getting a little bit of harass onto this location. The Athena coming in 4 minutes, 50 seconds into the game. It's a late advance time. I think it's like a 4:30-ish villager production amount as well, as the military academy getting dropped down onto this one. We do have a question in chat. Why are not more than 4 wall segments allowed? It's essentially because these walls, they've got a lot of, they're very cheap at 3 gold. They got a lot of armor and it's really hard to get units onto them to actually kill them. So it effectively stops aggression in its tracks. 4 wall segments is enough to say you could possibly kill one of these wall segments and then take the tower down. You're going to have to spend a lot of resources to make it happen, but you could still do it. Whereas the extra wall segments make it impossible. As we see the military academy archery range coming in here for Sirtok, as a bolt also goes onto the Herso here. Now, we'll see what Ulysses is going to do here. Now, I believe when your opponent goes for an Athena advance time here as Loki, the best way for Loki to play the early stage of this game is to delay Hall of Thanes. And that's going to allow you to get yourself a whole bunch of throwing axemen out, as well as your Herso, and be able to secure a secondary hunt. You should be able to either force, I mean, there's no real hunt to grab here, but you should be able to force a restoration to kick you off the hunt, or you should be able to fight and be completely fine. As more walls coming up over here for Ulysses, trying to keep himself as defensive as possible. So these walls are fine here. You can put as many of these long walls in because the walls are longer. It means more units can attack them. It's completely fine. As the Herso going to be retreating away here. And we'll see how things are going to go as this hoplite looks like Ulysses. He's actually getting himself eyes in the forest, which is really, really weird. That slows down his Hall of Thanes because he's obviously going for it, going to rush it, but it slows down his Hall of Thanes and it doesn't really give a whole big amount of advantage here. As 6 minutes 45 seconds into the game, we see Eyes of the Forest, we see Hall of Thanes, we've got the watchtowers up for Ulysses. Ulysses is onto his goats here. He's got himself hunting dogs and husbandry, so playing really, really defensive. As these Herso running around the map, going to look for something to attack here as the villagers finishing up on the hunt. They will move forward onto these walruses, which is going to be a dangerous position to be in. But if I was Sirtok here, I wouldn't, and I see these towers, I wouldn't leave this location. I would keep spamming units here and hold on to this hunt. Alternatively, I would go straight to the heroic age here. But we've already seen that Sirtok is got himself medium infantry here. So he's spent a lot of resources already on this infantry. He's going to be searching around the map here, looking for something to do. As you see, another longhouse coming down for Ulysses at this point. As more Herso coming in, these Herso are going to be continuing to retreat away as the army coming through. This gold mine is completely exposed, but Ulysses, excuse me, has already gathered the majority of it, and he can move over here. Now, the problem here is this gold mine is also exposed. As the Toxotes come over here, going to be pushing Ulysses off of that wood line there, moving over onto the back gold mine. You have to throw down a wall or something here. You've got to do this, as the troll does get taken down over there by the Odysseus. So Odysseus can sit in onto this position and attack these berry bushes gatherers as well. He can sit over here and attack this wood line. Wood's going to be really, really tough for Ulysses to gather in this game here. As the Jason Odysseus is going to be trying to take down the Herso on this position. We see the units trying to move around over here. And at this point, Ulysses really needs to send a handful of Herso over here to attack this food situation. And he knows that this is happening, or at least he should know that that's where the villagers are, because he's actually scouted already that this hunt is basically finished. So we'll see how it's all going to go. As the throwing axemen trying to take down these hoplites as best as they can. As the units retreating back, we see a house coming up over here. And now the Herso look like they're ready, but maybe he's going to try and sneak around the back. I'm not sure. what the plan is here, but we do see the unit still trying to push in onto this position. Going straight up to the houses is a very, very bizarre play here from Ulysses. Obviously guaranteed damage onto this position as we see the units coming through, going to try and take down this tower over here. We see the throwing axeman coming in trying to take down the hoplites. The Toxotes not actually attacking the right units here as Sirtok takes that down, sacrifices a handful of units to kill it, but does manage to do so as we're going to see the archery rangers getting taken down a little bit as the Hearse are now going to move over here onto the houses as a couple of units getting picked off over here as well as Sirtok is continuing to produce units here. He's got a second town center actually up. That's a bizarre play from Sirtok. We'll see if it's going to be working out for him at this point because it's going to allow Ulysses to get himself a heroic age here effectively for free without any like real worry about like anything hurting too much. A big Valkyrie spawn here is going to help out a ton as these units popping out. We see good micro here from Ulysses. Hasn't lost a single Hearser in this fight just yet. As over here, the units getting pulled back. Sirtok's Jason and Odysseus retreating away. We see the hoplites getting taken down over here. Still no Hearser getting taken down as the micro is just off the chain here from Ulysses, picking off so many units. We see the Odysseus coming back in over here as the low HP Hearser micro. This micro is just out of this world. Has he lost a single Hearser here? It doesn't look like he has, as the Toxotes is almost getting taken down, not going down here. We see the throwing axemen's getting pulled back as the units pulling into this position over here. Going to be looking for a little bit of that defensive positioning that he needs to as the Valkyries are just about to get taken down. But another hoplite going down here is Ulysses. I'm sorry, guys. I have to see this. How many? I want to see this. I don't see this very often. Do this very often. We're going into the post game. 4 units lost for Ulysses in this game. 15 killed. Absolutely insane from Ulysses as he's now going up through Bragi. Now, the problem is that Ulysses is going to have a lot of low HP Hearser now, and he's going to have to utilize this healing spring, which heals at 3 HP per second. So he's gonna get these Hearser back up to full HP before he casts Bragi, but this is going to be a very, very difficult position for Sirtok to be in as he's got this town center up, and he's going to be getting hit with a huge flaming weapons timing attack here from Ulysses. As now the Hearser coming in, they decide, oop, Valkyrie spawn. This is huge. You can utilize this Valkyrie to move in, tank the town center, and allow those Hearser to kind of run around in this position and get a whole bunch of stuff done. But Ulysses isn't actually doing that. He's trying to take down the tower here. We see the Hearser retreating away as the hoplites coming back to defend. We see some units pushing forward here for Sirtok, looking for something to do as the walls coming up onto this position. We can see Sirtok happily gathering the hunt on this position over here as Ulysses is running around the map looking for something to do here as now Ulysses, he's in the heroic age, and we see a market from Ulysses. I love this play. I don't love these farms, but I love this play from Ulysses. He is going to be going for not only a heroic age timing attack, but a mythic age timing attack. He can go for hell, or he can go for Fimbulwinter tier. Doesn't really matter. The Nidhogg is going to have a ton of potential damage. The Fimbulwinter is going to do a ton of potential economic damage as well. And you're either going to be able to get Fenris Wolves to go for raids, or you can go for the other option, which is Fire Giants for a stronger army. Both are really, really strong and both work, and it just comes down to style preference here. As Sirtok, though, Sirtok has cut resources as he is kind of realizing what's going on. He's actually going to go up through Dionysus, which might be a good idea, might not be a good idea. We'll see if the bronze is going to help out or not, but more importantly, Sirtok is going to get access to the Hypaspist here at a decent time here off of 2 town centers. So we'll see how it's all going to work as the archery range over here getting thrown up. Now, there is still restoration and bronze, and now because Dionysus is coming in here, I feel like Ulysses has to go through hell because, I mean, the Fimbulwinter is going to do a lot of damage, but you really, really want to have that Nidhogg to be taking out those Hypaspist here as Ulysses is now moving out onto the map. It might be worth it for Ulysses now to actually buy some resources, or not buy resources, but actually get himself the second town center as all of these things are going on. This gold mine about to expire here as well. This gold mine over here has got how much gold left in it? 1,300, so still plenty of gold there as the Hearser are moving across the map looking for some raids, making sure the town center isn't getting grabbed and all the other good stuff here. The gold mine situation for Sirtok, he's actually still got got gold in his main base. Plenty of gold there, but he is moving across the map, going to be grabbing resources everywhere he possibly can, eating the polar bear on this location as well. We see this house getting taken down. Nice play there by Ulysses, attacking the weaknesses of Sirtok nicely here as Sirtok goes up through Dionysus. He's deciding to make a really, really big push here into the main base of Ulysses. Ulysses has to pull back. These farms are really going to be biting Ulysses in the bum right now as he has to pull the villagers off of those farms here, moving back into his town center. As the units are pulling in here, trying to do everything they can. We are going to be seeing the military academy getting taken down over here. The archery range is going to go down as well. Hell, just about to hit here for Ulysses, and we'll see how it's going to go. There's the town center up for Ulysses. Still no timing here. Has been hit. He gets himself the fire giant, so now Ulysses can start pumping fire giants out. He's got 70, or he had 100 favor here, so that's going to be roughly 4 fire giants that he can produce here. They cost 26 favor, so you can get 4 fire giants out pretty much straight away here as Ulysses has his second town center. The Herso are running around the map here. Sirtok is doing everything he possibly can as we see the Nidhogg getting dropped in onto this position, going to be causing a lot of problems here for Sirtok. The amount of damage that a Nidhogg does to villagers is off the chains because it does 30 hack damage, 40 crush damage a second, and it's splash damage. It's splash. I mean, it doesn't say there in the tooltips, but and it's splash damage. I don't know exactly how far the damage gets dealt, but it's a ton of damage as those villagers have to retreat back. You've got to get yourself watchtowers. You have to get yourself your Odysseus over there. And that's going to effectively mean now that Ulysses, he's going to be grabbing himself a third town center over here. Which one is he going for? He's going for the forward town center on this location. He's going to break down this wall, potentially grab this town center as well here as the walls getting taken down. We see the town center getting grabbed over on this location here as the villagers going to be mining this up as best as they can. We see the irrigation coming in here as the archery rangers getting taken down. Hera on the way though for Sirtok. A much needed Bellerophon is going to be coming for Sirtok here in this game. Not only that, the lightning storm will effectively cancel a Bragi, a flaming weapon here. So this is really, really good here for Sirtok as the army retreating back. We're going to be seeing Ulysses pushing in. It looks to me like Ulysses is going to be wanting to cast himself this flaming weapons here, and he does cast it, and this is going to be an absolute nightmare for Ulysses as the army retreats back. We see bronze here. The army going to be fighting, but 90% on the way. That's going to be roughly 6 seconds here. Well, not 6, maybe less than 6 seconds until the flaming weapons comes through. The Nidhogg's still getting targeted down by the Odysseus here as the army pushing in. Hera comes in. Lightning storm gets dropped down. The army going to be retreating away, but every single one of those units is going to fall. Well, not every one apparently as Ulysses gets out of there, but it looks to me as if Ulysses' flaming weapons has been denied, and Sirtok has picked off tons of units here as Ulysses has pulled back. Now, the big thing for Ulysses is he's got himself 3 town centers. He's not that far behind on the economy. He's done enough damage here, but he needs to really get set up on food and start being able to pump out those fire giants because he needs to have either Herso or raiding cavalry to deal with Bellerophon, because Bellerophon is coming, and those fire giants, while they are normally a really, really big ticket unit to be grabbing, Bellerophon just says, get out of here. He can jump in, half HP the fire giant, and then kill it off. Not only that, there's also the Medusa here that can do it. And you can see right over here, you cannot build another Bellerophon. Bellerophon is on the way, and this is going to be huge for Sirtok. He's going to have to micro this one to the best of his ability here as we see a hill fort coming onto this position over here by Ulysses. Going to secure this gold mine a little bit as this location over here is a little bit out of reach as Sirtok now. He's actually fine. You might think that Sirtok's really been hurt in this game, but in essence, he's got his farm set up. He's got a good amount of villagers out, and he is actually completely fine here. He's going to be pushing over here. He's got himself the Medusa, trying to take down this town center over here. Ulysses at this point, 145 to 145 population. He needs to be thinking about how he's going to take down the Medusa here as the fire giant coming in. Now, luckily for Ulysses, the Medusa did utilize its special ability there onto a villager, so the fire giants can just push in right now as we see see the Nidhogg coming in, though Odysseus takes that one down before the extra damage is done. So the Nidhogg has indeed been picked off as units pushing in over here. I would love to see these gold mines getting targeted down now by Sirtok. Sirtok hasn't really secured his own gold mines here in this game as we see the fire giants coming in. We see the Medusas walking forward here, not going to be able to get in. That's a beautiful micro there by Ulysses, manages to take down that Medusa without losing a single fire giant. They're absolutely huge, but now the Bellerophon is in. Sirtok's getting himself his third town center, and everything is absolutely insane now in this game. We see the Bellerophon does not have the jump special. They utilized it a little bit too early as the fire giants absolutely melt everything there. Look at all those dead units. The special attack there from Ulysses' fire giants, absolutely insane as this game is continuing along. And who knows what can happen here as now the Myrmidon are coming out, and this is scary for very, very scary for Ulysses. Once Myrmidon come out for Norse, the only real way to deal with them is to have either upgraded throwing axemen, and when I say upgraded throwing axemen, I mean Skadi throwing axemen, as we do see the raids coming in over here, but there's a fire giant over here, should be enough to defend this one. But it's either Thundering Axe throwing axemen, or it's towers with like Ballaster. And it's really, really hard to make that work as Loki because you don't have access to Skadi. As, Bellerophon getting tied down. Sirtok not paying attention. He's going to lose that Bellerophon. You cannot be throwing away Bellerophon that easy. That's 400 gold down the drain here. And you can take a look at Sirtok's economy. He's got no resources right now to rebuild that Bellerophon fast enough. We see the Mountain Giant tanking nicely as the unit's pushing through. These throwing axemen still going to be doing some good damage here, but Sirtok is getting raids done over here. We see the Heracles getting taken down. Will it be able to pick off the fire giant fast enough? It looks like it will be picking that one off as Ulysses tries to retreat back, but Heracles too big, too strong. Whacks that fire giant down with his big club as the Toxotes is going to be able to take down everything else. These villagers can simply just move over here onto this gold mine if they so choose, but not going to happen just yet as Ulysses retreats back. He's got himself 13 villagers on food. Let's check out his economy here. He's got himself flood control here, so he does know that he needs to get his farms set up. As we do see some hill forts getting set up over here. Sirtok spots this one. There's no army over here though because the temple is up. The hill fort about to pop here. As the wall's getting taken down over here, we've got a whole bunch of units moving forward for Sirtok. Is very, very strong here. However, the fire giants are very big when there's no Bellerophon, no Medusa or anything else here. Now, Sirtok has two options here. He could think about getting more Medusa out here as he is raiding over onto this gold mine. More Medusa is an option. Get the Bellerophon back out as well. We're seeing some throwing axemen coming in over onto this position. Not going to be all too helpful over here as there's the Bellerophon moving in. Let's see how good Ulysses is here. He does not pull that fire giant back in time as the Bellerophon flies in there. Half HP's the fire giant. Going to be able to chase the fire giant down. 8 HP, not enough to stay alive anymore. Is going to get picked off as the other fire giant retreating back. The throwing axemen all getting finished off here. Ulysses absolutely needs to move away from mass throwing axemen here. He either needs to get himself out. So he's getting some Ballaster here, but you can't get Ballaster against... you can't really be getting Ballaster against Zeus until you've got towers set up at the very least, because if you've got towers set up, then the Bellerophon jumps in and the towers take down the Bellerophon in a way here, but we are seeing the Ballaster coming out for Ulysses, and at least he's making himself some Huskull now, and they will be able to deal with the Toxotes. So Huskull throwing axemen does deal with Toxotes Myrmidon a little bit here as villagers trying to get in and take down this hill fort. Where is Ulysses' army is the big question. He's got so much economy here. Fire Giants moving in onto this position to help out as well as the Norse army is retreating back. The Fire Giants moving forward. Where is that Bellerophon of Sirtok? Remember, Sirtok went through Dionysus, so he doesn't have any he's rebuilding. He doesn't have any sort of healing in this game, so he has to rebuild that Bellerophon over and over again. As we do see a market getting started here by Sirtok, maybe going to try and get that market in this corner here or something. Another option would be to put it in this back corner here and go to this town center, a little bit safer, a little bit less efficient, but a little bit safer. As that's definitely something that could be considered to do here. As we got the Ballaster Fire Giant combo coming, but but Ulysses is not committing to throwing these towers up here as he's trying to push through here. And I imagine that with all of those heroes popping out, the Bellerophon popping out as well, that Ulysses will indeed have to retreat back as we see more longhouses starting to get thrown down by Ulysses. We are seeing raids continuing to come in, just lone hoplites attacking this location, causing a little bit of chaos over here for Ulysses as the Bellerophon comes in over here, going to be looking to try and take down the ballista. Big micro here from Ulysses, but you can see how low the HP is on the ballista. I'll say it once, I'll say it a million times. Ballista only work if you've got walls and towers. If you don't have walls and towers, better just build military units and set up the walls and towers and then build the ballista. Seems to be my experience of the whole situation at the very least here. As the ballista gets taken down there, the fire giant's getting taken. Beautiful market there by Sirtok, utilizing that special ability there to jump in and take down the fire giant here as the hero is going to finish off the other fire giants. And Ulysses's kind of advantage here in this game is getting absolutely dwindled here, but he's still got tons of resources, heaps of villagers out. Sirtok, on the other hand, he's got all of his villagers out. His market is giving himself, oh, it's so low, 6 gold here. Just build the market over here. Build the market over here. It's not even worth it to build that trade there at this point, but obviously Sirtok's a little bit worried about how things are going to be eventuating here, but he does find himself an advantage at this point. He's got full army here. It's very, very tough for Ulysses to actually beat this army at this point. So Ulysses has to go back to the drawing board here and figure out what he needs to do. He's got pretty much full control on the left side of the map, so maybe getting an attack over here wouldn't go astray. Trying to attack this town center or something while this is all going on, getting side builds down as the army of Sirtok is starting to march in here. We see the Toxotes getting some good damage done from behind as the Heliopoli is going to be looking for some big attacks. Now it looks to me that Sirtok, I don't see his Bellerophon anywhere. Looks like it's being picked off yet again. Ulysses has done a really good job of really nullifying Sirtok's hero presence here in this game as the Huskar pushing around to the back. Going to look to, I'm not sure exactly where they're going, but more buildings getting taken down here as Ulysses still trying to fight this one. It's 23 minutes into this game. We still don't have champion upgrades for these players. Now, Ulysses here, he's got 25 villagers on the food. He's got nearly full economic upgrades here, but his gold mine situation, he's got to be a little bit worried about this. He has to be. He has to be worried about this because he expects to have this gold mine here, but it's already half mined by Sirtok. So walls coming down onto this side as well by Sirtok as he's trying to make things just a little bit more challenging for Ulysses here in this game as the unit's going to start pushing in onto this town center over here. These villages could become very useful now to take down that Heliopoli, but it looks like Sirtok is very aware of what's happening here as the throwing axemen retreating back. More myth unit spawn still coming through for Ulysses as he gets a frost giant spawn there as the villagers getting taken off that wood line there. Going to try and take down the Bellerophon over here. Do we have crenellations? No crenellations here. So the tower gets a little bit drunk as the archers have not really practiced their archery too well here as the Medusa does try and take down those fire giants, but instead sees the frost giant there. That's value there for Sirtok as he is still moving forward. We do see these villagers getting pushed off of this gold mine over here. Sirtok still hasn't started that market up in a good spot. I still don't think that this is the play. I think you just put the market here. Really, really safe going to this town center through all controlled land. Probably good resources there as the army now going to be finding this gold mine has expired as the villagers will be moving up over to here, I assume. But still, Ulysses is going to be getting put into a really, really tough position. But he does have champion upgrades, armor upgrades here, looking decent for both players, actually. Sirtok looks like he's a slight bit in front with the bronze mail here compared to Ulysses' copper mail, but I imagine armory upgrades are coming. Look at that, iron weapons now coming through for Ulysses. He should be prioritizing bronze mail a little bit more than he is, as the Medusa, unfortunately, their targets a throwing axeman instead of a fire giant there, as the Hersa immediately going to be taking down that Medusa over on that position. Now, here's another play for Sirtok. He's got the walls set up already over here. A fortress and then Petropoli here. Just a big wall. Bang, bang onto this location. Here you can start sieging down this town center very, very easily as well. But Sirtok is wanting to put the pressure on to this location. And now Ulysses is back up to a mass fire giant kind of situation here. Does he have the upgrade on these fire giant is the question. No, he doesn't. Now, that is an expensive upgrade. If you take a quick look, it is called Granite Blood. Gives 200 extra HP for your giants. So an extra 200 HP for your Frost Giants puts them up to 800 HP-ish. Fire Giants up to 800 HP, and the Mountain Giants got to like something like 1700 HP or something like that. So it's absolutely insane. As Ulysses is trying to secure this gold mine, which isn't a bad idea. If he can secure it, he's going to be in a good position here, as the villagers are going to come through here and say, what are you doing over here? Get out of here. But Sirtok, he's still got full population, but his army seems like it's all over the place at this point, currently trying to deal with Huskal. Huskal versus Hoplites is actually a really, really weird matchup where the Hoplites soft counter the Huskal, but the Huskal actually can still beat the Hoplites. There's just the armor situation is weird, but the damage is a little bit more for the Huskal or something. I don't know how to explain it. Anyways, Hoplites coming over here. We see the Ulfsark trying to defend this location. Has Ulysses started a trade route? He has started it now. It is a good trade route going from over here to over here. But again, market over here to this location is the safest route. Both these players are not going for it here, as the throwing axeman retreating away. Sirtok here doing his best to figure this all out, as the Fire Giants pushing in onto this location, as the fortress is going to be getting taken down very, very fast here. But I don't think Sirtok cares at the moment. He sees all these villagers, like, let me kill these villagers off. The Heliopoli is going to do a good amount of damage over here. Now, unlike archers, throwing axemen do hack damage. 7.2 hack damage to be exact. So when we say that Heliopoli are actually Toxoidi, they aren't really. Toxoidi are actually better against a throwing axemen than the Heliopoli are. The reason why we see Greek players building Heliopoli here is because they're a bit silly. Heliopoli against Norse, not the best. Probably just go into Petropolis and make Toxoides is a better play. Because you want to make Heliopoli against everything but Norse, because their ranged units are pierce damage. So this Heliopoli effectively becomes a unit that will stay alive for 650 seconds against a Toxoidi, or against the ranged unit. But against Norse, it's not as useful, and it does cost a lot of resources. So you're better off just massing Toxoides and making Petropolis here instead, with walls and towers and all the other good stuff, as these villages all getting taken down. I don't think that Ulysses is going to care all too much about losing these villages here, because he is over-economized, and his armory is starting to look pretty much complete here. He just needs a few more upgrades, so it should be fine as the Bellerophon does come in. Unfortunately, a bit of a miss micro there from Sirtok that uses his special ability, as we are seeing now Sirtok going for a little bit of a side build here. I love these plays at this point in the game, as these random units here are going to be getting taken down. Over here, we're also seeing that Sirtok, he has finished this market over here. It's still a very, very much a Matrius market, as how much gold is he getting now? 31 gold here. Ulysses, on the other hand, he is getting 54 gold. So big advantage for the economy there for Ulysses, as Sirtok is getting pushed back here. And what is the real plan here? These villagers, they're sneaking through. Just put some towers up over here. Get some walls set up over here and take control of this location a little bit more. 3 military buildings. You can do so much more in that position here. Sirtok's got a lot of favor in the bank, a lot of resources, good amount of villages here. He can kind of survive here for a very, very long time, as Bellerophon runs in, tries to take down a Fire Giant, is successful there. This Odysseus here getting some good damage done. But the problem here for Sirtok actually does lie in his armory and his economy not being big enough to sort his armory out. He needs to get himself full iron. He needs to get himself champion units here, but he just has not had the resources to do that, as Ulysses just keeps on putting the pressure on, forcing Sirtok back. And not only that, we are seeing Ulysses is grabbing this gold mine, securing that one there. He should throw up a hill fort over here as soon as he possibly can to continue his economic advantage here. This gold mine is also going to be able to get grabbed here. Now we see the towers coming up for Ulysses. Gets 29 minutes into the game. It's time to start building towers. Ulysses is struggling a little bit for resources, as he's trying to train everything as best as he can. And we'll see exactly what Ulysses is going to go for here, as these units getting taken down, and these throwing axemen, they need to get these towers down at some point. And Ballaster here is a really, really good play with towers and walls. Again, towers first, and then Ballaster is the play. As throwing axemen pushing in here, we see the Fire Giant try and do everything that they can. See these units pushing over here as well to try and take out those guys, as the hoplites getting taken down over there. The villagers going to move up onto this gold mine, but there's no defenses over here, as Ulysses will start being in pain here, because look, these units, they're going to keep on causing some pain over here onto this trade route. So the idle villages are starting to mount up now for Ulysses. Has to sort that out. Sirtok, on the other hand, 9 idle villages, needs to get those sorted. He will fix that up, but still sitting at decent population, 152 of 160 population. As the Heliopoli rolling in, going to try and take down these towers as best as they possibly can here. Villagers moving around, looking for something to do here as well. As the dwarf is going to get taken down. We will be seeing this hill fort actually getting... actually, we see boiling oil this through here, so it looks like the hill fort probably... Look at how little damage the hill fort actually does here. It's so sad. It's so sad. Every tick a little bit of damage done, but it looks like the hill fort will be able to stay alive here against those hoplites for the time being at the very least, as the ballista still coming in, but it's just not enough. There's not enough support here for ballista. Ballista are really strong, don't get me wrong, but there's no support. You need support for ballista. They are not a unit that functions by itself. It's a unit that works well with towers. It's a unit that works well with walls, and that's about it. But the ballista, the Bellerophon here can just jump in and one-hit a ballista with its special ability. It does 100 hack damage, and the ballista has got 20% hack armor. So I guess it doesn't quite pick it off. It does 80 damage to the ballista, but yeah, immediately Bellerophon immediately attacks after the jump, anyways. So it's effectively a one-shot. As the unit's coming through over here, we'll see if Ulysses is going to eventually take out these stray raids, or if Sirtok's going to stop this. Does Ulysses even know about it? Ulysses has got no idea that there's buildings over here, but maybe he'll pay attention to it shortly. As now, it looks to me like the game is kind of settled here. As Bellerophon is trying to pick off a couple of villages, you do want to... Well, you can see the fire giant is... he wants to kill, but miss micros that again. Bellerophon 21 HP. Gonna be dodging all of those arrows just a little bit there. Nice play there from Ulysses. Also from Sirtok to dodge all of that, but Ulysses still in a bit of a weird position, not really working out what he needs to do, as we do see the fortress. The fortress is coming up now for Sirtok on this position, and this town center is not going to be easily defended because Ulysses has not put defenses around this at all. It is relatively easy to defend a town center against like the fortress push from Greek if they go for the Petropolis, because you can just build some ballista and some walls back here to defend it. Now Bellerophon obviously does change the thing, so you do have to get some towers up as well, but a hill fort and some ballista and some walls to pick off your enemy Petropolis should be able to deal with that at some point. But Ulysses is being pushed back yet again, as it looks to me that that Sirtok is going to be fine here. He's actually completely... he's fine. He's done everything he needs. We are seeing that the hoplite has managed to pick off that hill fort over here as well, as Ulysses is going to try and throw down a hill fort on this position over here, as more units are still pumping out of those locations. We do see the Medusa coming in. That will be a dead fire giant here, as Ulysses tries to pick it off before it dies, but not able to do so, as the Medusa does fall there. Generally speaking, against the one-hit myth units, with your own myth units, you should just, if you got Fire Giant and your opponent's got Mummies or Medusa, you should just target it down and just say, all right, we'll trade one Fire Giant for one Medusa, no problems, is generally the play. Bellerophon coming back into the fight yet again. Ulysses here, he's still trying to work out what to do, but he's just not quite managed to set his base up just yet to do it. Now he's got a lot of villages on food, a lot of villages on wood, and a lot of trade, so it might be time here for Ulysses to be thinking less villages, but he's spending all his resources, so I don't think he needs to do it just yet. As the Bellerophon jumps onto the Fire Giant here, going to finish that one off very, very fast as Bellerophon retreats back. You do have to run it away. It's going to be sad. Probably Fire Giant will fall down, but if you run, then the Bellerophon will take a lot of damage here. As we are seeing, that's exactly what's happening. As the unit's pushing over here, we see another fortress by Sirtok on this position. This fortress is up, and the Petropolis are queued up here for Sirtok. So this is going to be a tough one. Pretty sure the Petropolis can shoot from here. So it's going to be absolutely terrifying here, as this watchtower is going to be going down as well, as Sirtok is pushing into the main base of Ulysses. But Ulysses now going after these villages over here, trying to take that fortress down. Not really going to be able to. We see a ballista coming out yet again for Ulysses. I feel like if you just send a portable ram in first, that's probably a better way to do things at this point. But the ballista doing what it can. These trade units of Ulysses are currently getting slowed down quite a bit over here, as an attempted wall getting thrown out. The units will just move around the other side here. Thank you for the 50 bits there, Lethal Injection. Appreciate you. As the Frost Giants Fire Giants still trying to defend over here as best as they can. Villagers pushing forward, trying to take out the ballista here as another hill fort is going to be coming up. Still, that Petropolis is sitting here queued. And this is a bit of a weakness of Age of Mythology players in the late game, where they're like very used to just auto queue and not training units themselves. Once the game gets into the late game, you actually want to turn off auto queue most of the time, so you can make sure you get your units where you need them, and then you can just train the units back up and it's fine. It's not hard to do this. You just control group all your military buildings and use the hotkeys to do it, but it's very important in the late game to make that happen. As we see, the hill fort is going to come up here. Villagers coming through onto this position over here. Hoplite's still doing some good stuff. We have finally seen champion upgrades for Sirtok coming through, as it seems like his economy has settled here finally in the 35th minute of this game. Jason here going to be taking out these fire giants really nice. Not only that, he's got himself Olympic parentage, so these heroes are going to be really, really strong, as we see some units now pushing over here for Sirtok to take out this location. Ulysses, he's sitting at full population here. He needs to be thinking about making some Ulfsark from those villagers, turning those Ulfsarks to villagers, but at this point, maybe he doesn't care. He's just like, all right, let me just let my villagers die here, as he does convert a handful of Ulfsark over here. A handful of idle villagers as well for Ulysses. Needs to get into this game as the units pushing over here. Looks like, yeah, Ulysses is making this mistake here. He's over-economized as Norse, something you do want to do to get all of your upgrades out. But once you have all your upgrades out, you've got to go down to something like 60 villages is generally the best amount. 60 villages, and that includes like 25 ox caravans, maybe 10 villages on wood, and 25 to 30 villages on food is roughly the amount you need in the late game as Norse. As we are seeing him defending here nicely. We're seeing these ballista getting set up again. Like, this is what you want to do, but you need to have walls. You need to have walls. You need to have towers. I've said this before. There was a game we watched with Rappel versus Joe, I believe, where Rappel built out these ballista, and they're fantastic. Of course you should, but you actually want to have the towers coming up and the walls coming up with them. Otherwise, villagers can come in, mercenary can kill them, all the other good stuff. And Bellerophon can come in and pick them off. Can be very, very easy to defeat those at that point. It's more Herso coming in. We are seeing these forward buildings of Sirtok getting taken down. It still hasn't been trained. This has been at 99% for maybe like the last 5 minutes. This is a town center. This is the most value you can get. We just see a fortress coming down onto this position over here as the ballista all getting taken down over here. As Ulysses' side build is getting dismantled by one Bellerophon. Now, you do have 3 range buildings here. Do we have chronolations yet? Yeah. So you got 3 range buildings. So this Bellerophon is going to get taken down relatively fast. But imagine if there was 5 towers here. That Bellerophon would pick off maybe 2 ballista, and then it would die. And then you can just continue to do that on repeat there. But as Sirtok is closing in on this town center, it's going to go down. Not only that, we got the champion Toxotes with their burning pitch here. What does it do? It gives 600% bonus damage versus the town center. Now, I'm not sure that this really matters that much. Maybe they're doing like 2 or 3 damage a second instead of 1 damage a second. But Ballista now coming over here, going to try and defend this location, but still no walls for them, so they can get in and do everything else that they need to. It's Jason Odysseus coming out over here, and we'll see how it's all going to go from now, as Sirtok now throwing down the walls onto this position. Taking control of this position is going to be absolutely huge. Just a random wall. It's not even selected, not even connected to anything here, as the stone gate getting finished off over there. As the Odysseus coming out onto this position, we see some more Longhouse getting trained over here. The Fire Giant getting built onto this position as well here. As I don't see a way forward now for Ulysses. He's not like he's behind, but he doesn't have anything set up. And when you're in the late game, it all comes down to map control and having stuff set up. And it just doesn't seem to me that Ulysses has actually managed to make this work here. We are going to be seeing the Fire Giants coming in, potentially taking down the fortress, as the Bellerophon is here. Maybe going to be able to finish off this Fire Giant at some point here. As we see this fortress going down. And Sirtok, he still hasn't had He still hasn't have his. He still hasn't got any siege coming out. You got to get your siege. It doesn't matter. The town center is going down here. Look at the town center is at 300 HP as the fortress does get taken down. Ulysses needs to invest some resources into repairing this one back up. He does have architects and fortified town centers, but losing this town center as Norse generally means losing the game. It's really, really tough for a Norse player to get their third town center back in a game, in a 1v1. So we'll see how that's going to go, as the throwing axeman here is going to be repairing this one back up. Still no Petropolis out. This side build here is kind of being abandoned by Ulysses. This was a good idea. If you could just send some villagers forward, make some Ulfsark here, throw some walls, throw some towers down, Ulysses would find some really, really nice advantages there, as this fortress is slowly getting taken down. The town center now at 100 HP as it's about to fall here. The Myrmidon is in. The Hippaspis are in. The town center goes down, and Ulysses has got no population now. He's got, well, I mean, one thing that you could do is Villager Ragnarok this. So send like 30 villagers in. You need to have a lot of food there to build that. I think it's something like 20 villages, 1,000 food. So 30 villages is 1,500 food, and convert them all into Ulfsark to try and take this down. That would push his population up to a artificial 160 again to try and make his way through here. But we see Sirtok grabbing this town center immediately as his economy is completely safe, and Ulysses has got nothing remaining. The market is about to get taken down as well here, which is going to be a complete stop to Ulysses' gold economy, because he's got 800 gold in the bank, still making ox caravans for whichever reason here. As the town center for Sirtok will be most likely securing this game here. For Sirtok, he's got plenty of resources. Once that comes up, I imagine he's going to go straight up to 180. He might even get this Petropolis out that he's been dreaming of having for the past 10 minutes. Nope, still no Petropolis. As the town center gets up there, Ulysses does tap out. YouTube comment section says, Norse is so bloody weak. How does Norse ever win? Norse always loses. That's the lesson to take away from here. Zeus too strong. Manages to get this dub. There was plenty of opportunities here for Ulysses. He just didn't do what he needed to do to make his army safe. He made those ballista. On this position, he had like 5 ballista. If he has 3 more towers here with some walls around the ballista, then the Bellerophon can jump in. Sure, take out the ballista, but then the Bellerophon dies, and then you rebuild the ballista. No problems. That's what you do. It's the only way to beat. It's the only way to beat Zeus with a side build. As Norse. But Ulysses didn't do that, and he just basically slowly allowed Sirtok to catch back up in terms of tech. So Ulysses was definitely in front on the tech first. He's also probably way in front on resources, not even in front on resources. So Sirtok in front on resources, probably in front on units killed. So he just has more tech than his opponent. If you take, I don't think there's a research stat here in the post game, but if you take a look at what the improvements were over time, Ulysses would have been at 42 research count way before Sirtok. But it doesn't matter if you can't get a tangible advantage over your opponent. They're going to be able to catch up eventually, and once they do, then they're going to be able to win the game if you don't have any tangible advantages as Norse here. Anyways, GG, well played by Sirtok. Solid, never give up, never surrender attitude here, even though Ulysses did feel like he was in a really, really good position here. Really nice play around the kind of Mythic Age timing attack with the flaming weapons, utilizing Lightning Storm to completely nullify that one. He did use all of his god powers there, where maybe he didn't need to, just retreat back and then have Restoration Bronze for a different fight. But he took that opportunity there and survived, and then had to survive for the rest of the game as well, and managed to do it. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.